Okay. From Grandpa and Grandma Seager's house, set on a little knoll on the Pinion Hemrod Road. I don't remember the number, county or state number of the road. Anyway, their house sits on a little knoll and it faces the east. It's burned down now, but you could locate it very easy. Anyway, there it's owned by Elizabeth Schweitzer, which is my cousin, which is Aunt Nellie's, Aunt Francis's daughter. It faced the east, and from there you went down the hill just about a quarter of a mile, and on the right hand side, it'd be on the west side of that road, back in a wooded, overgrown with vegetation. There's a cemetery, and in the northwest corner there's several marked and one unmarked grave, and that's where Charles Frederick Seager I is buried. You stop and think, and that's exactly, I had to start drawing my memory up, but that's where it's at. The way you was there, the marked grave and the unmarked grave plot right there. Now what do you want to know?
I'd like to know how you and Mom met.
Oh, that's easy.
I get to tell it.
Your mom picked me up.
Oh, you fibber. We met during the war.
Which war?
World War II. The ancient war. Civil War.
She was out cruising Main Street and picked me up.
The war
Now
was,
she'll tell you the truth.
we didn't have any much gas because gas was rationed, and so.
How much ration?
Real rations. You had to have little stamps to get it.
How much could you get?
It depends on.
You had an A, B, or a C stamp. A stamp, you only got a little bit. B, you got A stamp, you got a lot. B, you got medium, and C, you just got maybe 3 or 4 gallons a month. It was just strictly for knickknacks. A was if you had to drive your car to and from work, and B was so that you could go to church in a little bit and drive to work. And we didn't have much gas, and so the 5 girls, 4 of the girls and myself, we take turns. Each one of us would get a car once a week and pick up the others, and we'd all go to the dance. It's called the Green Mill Ballroom in Ventura, California. And we'd go down either Friday or Saturday night, whichever had the best dance band. And it was my turn to drive. I went down and got Juanita and Virginia and the other kids, and we went to dance, and Garland Barter was playing.
How old were you?
16 and a half. And we went down to dance, and Garland Barter was going. We went on Friday night because he was playing. He wasn't going to be there Saturday. And I met Chuck met your dad at the dance hall. He was in the Seabees, and my brother was in the Seabees, and they sent my brother from
Which
Ventura.
brother? Which brother?
Grant.
My brother Grant, from Ventura to Sampson, New York, which was just short ways from his hometown. And they sent him from there to Ventura, to Port Juanima, which is where I was living. But anyway, I met him there that night. Danced with him 3 or 4 times and couldn't get rid of him. And all of a sudden he disappeared, and he came back, about an hour later, and he had this stupid tattoo on his arm.
She branded me.
I didn't do it.
What's the tattoo say?
USN. I said, why did it say that if you're in the Seabees? He says, I don't know. It's just pretty, isn't it? I said, no. But when I got ready to go home, he wouldn't let me go home until I gave him my phone number. And so Juanita says, why don't you give him somebody else's phone number? I says, I don't want him calling somebody else. She said, well, give me your phone number. We got to get home. We're not going to be able to come next week.
What time did you have to be home?
We had to be home by midnight.
She ain't telling it all, but you might as well know it all. I was a young buck that never dated or nothing.
Oh, you lie. Lord, you lie.
So, anyway, I went out. I was pie-eyed. You know, same drunk. I could stand up, but that was it. And your mother didn't drink at all. Was naturally, being LDS, told not to even associate with them guys. And here she give me her phone number. She branded me for $1. That's all the tattoo cost, and then
I had nothing to do with that tattoo.
And so the next time I got it in the CB, they call it Liberty, I went to the USO in Ventura, California, and they had a bunch of phone booths there where you could call locally for free. Outside you'd pay a nickel. And same quarter nowadays. And I didn't know whether it was the right phone number or not, so I called and yeah, I got a hold of her. She didn't know whether she wanted to come meet me or not. Took a little sly foxing, but finally she consented, and so she come in, we talked.
Where did you meet at that time?
At the USO. There's a square park was downtown Ventura, and on the east side of the square there was a building that had the USO in it for servicemen. Well, a few women them days. But anyway, we met, and she gave me a picture of her and her class ring.
Not that night, I didn't. We dated quite a few times between now and then.
Yeah. And I went overseas.
No. You came out and helped Mom pick strawberries.
Yeah.
I came home from school and he was there helping Grandma pick strawberries out in the garden.
At Casita Springs.
And he'd helped her all afternoon. She thought he was great. They always did think he was great. Had a halo. His horns held his hair all up. But he was out picking strawberries when Mom went home from school. We dated quite a bit, and he was out and he played cards with Mom and Dad and I quite a bit.
They always
church
tell
with us.
your grandma buttered, they were rook or some guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they had a red and white and black
Yellow, green, and black and red.
table cloth. You know, here me being a good fella, you know, we played that game and I'd always look at my cards and look at LaJean and point to the colors, which one's on, because that way you could get the colors in this rook, you know.
You ever played rook?
And Mother Butters didn't know it for after. Before I went overseas, she got to know me good enough. She said, "Chuck, that ain't nice to cheat. Chuck, you're not supposed to have pointed at them colors." And Dad Butters said, "That ain't playing this game fair," or words to that effect, you know. But still, no, we did, and we'd go up to Ojai, which nowadays don't seem nothing. You just hop in the car and buzz them a few miles. But them days, well, we didn't have transportation. You know, cars and nothing. Oh, we hitchhiked. Mother Butters didn't think that was too swift, but we'd go up there and eat and, you know, have a hamburger or something.
How far away was that?
14 miles.
Not Ojai.
From Ventura, it was before you went.
Oh, from Ventura. It was about 7 miles or so, anyway. Anyway, I went overseas.
You didn't. When we went overseas, I had to go see you when he was getting ready to ship out. He called me and said he couldn't get leave, but would I come over?
You're quarantined for 3 days.
Mom and Dad said, yeah,
before
we'll
you
take
ship
you
out.
over. So we went over, and he'd had hair like this, you know, well, about like yours. Not too long.
How long is
Quite short. When I'd seen him, GI haircut.
quite short as What, half an inch, an inch?
Oh, it was maybe an inch, 2 inches long at the very most. And when I got over there, they had shaved him. He was a bald-headed billiard ball. I told Mama, talk about your mother saying, oh, he looked so terrible. I said, I don't even want to go over. I could see him across. I don't even want to go over there. He looks terrible. He pulled his cap down over like this, you know, down over his ears. And all of them, every one of those sailors was all the same way. They were all boulevards. Oh, it was terrible.
You could either have a close, you're going to the tropics. So, what was 30 days in convoy before we hit our first island? Anyway, they go out tropics now, and so everybody had to have a close haircut before they took off. But if you wanted to shave, they'd shave it. Me being an innocent little boy, they
He'd asked me to marry him.
Now can I tell the rest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Be my guest.
I wanna, cause I tell you, it's kind of comical. She said when I come back, she said, I don't think I ever get it back. It don't seem like much money nowadays, but then, as a third class petty officer, you only made $54 a month. And look what a corporal rating make now, E4. So, anyway, I was always broke. Still am. I went overseas, I had a nice little 2x3 colored picture of your mom. I still got it too. Her class ring, and I was in debt to her $11.50. She said, I don't think I ever get that ring back when I come back, you know. As a matter of fact, my cousin, Norma Jean Nogadinger, had a pair of her earrings I took with me too. I don't know, I just
What did you have with Billie Jean's?
nothing.
Nothing? What about Jeannie Sinclair?
We don't talk about that.
I started to say, he asked me to marry him, and I said, yes, I'll wait for him, you know. All the time he's over, he's not got me. He's got Billie Jean, he's got Jeannie Sinclair. 5 girls waiting for him.
They just a casual acquaintance, so I just...
What was Billie Jean's last name?
Schrager, another German gal.
Where was she from?
Fresno, California.
Where's Jeannie from?
Who?
Jeannie Sinclair.
Billsboro, New York.
You heard a sailor with his girl in the report? Meet one.
No, where you got, let's be honest about it. Where you got that fight the night that I met Billie Jean in Penn, New York, at the old skating rink, they turned into a dance hall. She thought she told you that one time. She caught a prize chicken because she took me away from 5 girls I went to the dance with that night. I hate to admit it, but that's the truth.
When didn't you have 5 girls on a string? That's how come we end up with 4 girls and only 2 boys.
I'm an innocent
all your fault.
bystander. They just seem to come and want to help me because I'm a poor picked on little person.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
How long did it take to get him to propose to your mom?
About 6 weeks.
Slow.
They come back, and I went out there. We went up on the hill, but they had a cross on the hill. We went walked up on the hill to the cross, and I proposed to you up there.
I know that's where.
No, wait. That wasn't 6 weeks. That was the same day, the afternoon that I come back.
No, that's when you proposed me when you came back. Before you went overseas, all the time I was waiting. It was down by the river. Right?
I guess so.
All right.
Down by what river?
The Ventura River. We used to go there and swim when we was kids.
But I was
We walked
still
out there and swim where
engaged
the swimming hole
to
was.
11 girls at the same time. Mother didn't know.
We almost got married before we went overseas. If I'd been older, we would have.
Then the others, when I had no hope to hang on to. I was an innocent little person. I was
You have been
misguided.
innocent since the day you was born. Shut up, we're on tape.
Oh.
How long was he gone? And then before
How
he
long
came
were you
back?
overseas? 22 months?
No, I was over 14. 14.
He came back and proposed to her again?
Yeah.
Had to. I wrote to him every day at school. During our study time, I wrote at least one letter every day. And when I didn't get a letter for months on end, then I wrote him a nasty letter, to whom it may concern, don't write to me anymore. Don't want to see you, drop dead, and all this kind of nonsense.
She didn't realize it though. She not months on end, but for several weeks, and then the mail would come through. Well, both ways, because they even had victory letters that was photographed and sent that way because it was less bulk. But everything went except the mail went last. Food, ammo, spare parts, anything for the war went first. The mail went last.
You're trying to whitewash yourself, buddy. You just hated to write just like you do now. And by the time you got through writing to Billie Jean and Jeannie and me, it kind of gave you writer's cramps.
No.
Yeah.
How long after he proposed to you the second time before you got married?
What month did you come home? August?
Yeah.
We was married in October.
1947.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, you might as well know the truth if you're going to make a record of it.
46.
1946.
One of them 5 gals come from New York City. She was an Irish gal. I met her, see, at Penn, New York, and then at Keuka, New York, on Keuka Lake. But at Keuka, there's now they got a few boys, like a lot of boys' colleges got girls going to. But that was an all-girls college, only 5 miles from Penn. You could walk, ride a bike, buddy up in the old Model T's and A's cars we had, and go out there. And dating was pretty easy. All girls college, and the boys were the few and far between. Anyway, there was, but believe me, I was kind of innocent. You know? I wasn't that bad, boy. Well, I've been asked to tell you what I would say if my grandchildren, great-grandchildren would ever come right now. I would tell them the first thing, regardless of my woes and ways, I would tell them that they should believe in God. They should never lose faith in God or Jesus Christ. That we were put here on this earth with knowledge, but it is up to the individual to improve on him or herself. But whether you become an evil one or a wrongdoer, you get straightened out if you believe in God and Jesus and remain a Christian. Don't even associate with any atheist. And this is a pretty good country to live in. That's what I'd tell.
I would tell them to remember that we love them, and I think that families are the greatest thing that God ever created. There's nothing quite like love and companionship of families, posterity, most of all to cling to their belief in the church and in God, and to hope that they can have a better life than we had. Not necessarily in material things, but in spiritual things, and just a better life than we had. Ours wasn't that hard or anything, but just more of everything. But to love one another, I think that's that would be my advice to them, to always have their heart open to one another.
Yeah, the family, you stick with your family, help everybody, but stick with your family, you have better unity. They know your problems and you know theirs, and somehow you hope it'll work out.
And even if we didn't get to see them in this life, that we'd hope to see them in the hereafter. That they would live, and that we could live the kind of lives that we could be a family in the hereafter.
And I hope they have a better life than we do. We haven't had that bad. We've never had a silver spoon in our mouth, but we've had a pretty good life.